Hey everyone, Brian here. It's Sunday, October the 4th, and Sunday evening. We're just looking at the futures markets here. You can see we're up on the Dow, 200 points right now. S&P is indicating a higher open at the tomorrow morning. Same with the Nasdaq and the Russell. Everything's looking pretty good here for the bulls. You can see here oil's up, and so is natural gas. So the energy market's coming back, and gold, silver pretty much flat on the session right now. So looking like a positive open for the morning, at least, at this point. So we did have a really interesting day on Friday. The market really, there was a sector rotation here. You can see communication services, which of course has been pretty strong, continued to be weak on Friday. Same with technology, gapped up but then pulled back. But you can see some of the sectors that did really well, like industrials, materials, and energy gapped down but did a pretty significant reversal here on the day. Utilities just breaking out higher after this breakdown. Same with the financials, engulfing candle here, and the real estate is taking off. So it looked like kind of rotation out of some of these high tech growth companies back into the more, I'm going to call it recovery trades, even though it seems like the coronavirus virus situation is starting to pick up steam again as we go into the fall. So it's an interesting situation to say the least. So let's quickly look through the indices here. You can see here another indecision day on Friday, or a week on the transports. I should say there's a weekly chart. You can see here we've had a reversal candle here and just some indecision candles. So kind of just chopping sideways here on the transports. Stochastics rolling over a little bit. Let's take a look at what we did today on Friday. Friday was a big day, gap down, and then had a big push back up to this moving average here. So again, looks like some churning going on here with 11,500 being the top and sort of this 11,000 level being the support level. So be watching it to break one way or another to give some indication as to where maybe the indexes are going. You can see here the Dow and the weekly. We were up 500 points on the week, 1.1%, 1.9%. Significantly off the week, so we're still in a bit of a downtrend here. If we draw the line, we'll be looking to see if we do break out of this, if this just turns out to be a bull flag, and then we're going to push higher. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Dow go higher as we move closer into the election, because I think people just want to see that that positivity going into the election, and we've got we've got less than a month to go now, being the 4th, October or November the 3rd, the election day, obviously. See what the Dow did here on the daily again. Down on the day, but better than, we were well off the lows of the day, and we're right into some moving averages here. RSI kind of flattening out. So kind of an indecision on this one on the Dow. Let's take a look at the SPY on the weekly. Again, bit of an indecision doji candle for the weekly. We did gap up, but pulled significantly back off the highs. Volume was pretty steady, as it has been over the last month. MACD does look like it's rolling over a bit here. Stochastics may be turning up again. We may just be churning here going into this election with all the uncertainty that's happening right now. And you can see here the daily, again, we're just into some moving averages. We may just end up churning here. The Qs, again, well off the highs of the week. We did finish up on the week, though, just marginally. And on the day, we actually finished down on the day. So a weekday on Friday as money rotated out of some of the high-flying tech names and maybe into some of the stalwarts, the more value companies. And you can see here the IWM. I was looking at that one specifically because it looks like it might be the one that'll lead us higher into the election. So keep an eye on IWM. And you can play that with the TNA if you wanted to do a levered ETF. You can see here stochastics maybe turning back up again. RSI maybe putting in a bit of a double bottom here. Again, keep an eye on the IWM. It may just decide if if the reopening and the recovery trade is the way to play this, then the small caps are definitely the where you want to be. The VIX again on the daily, we've just got a gap up and then a pullback. So even though we had kind of a day Friday, we did have some indication that maybe not a lot of fear in the market. Stochastics are turning up on this. We are maybe getting into some kind of a rounding pattern, and volatility may start to increase as we get closer to the election, particularly if it's going to be disputed. Again, the weekly, just looking at this, is a bit of a backwards. Usually I like to look at the weekly first, but inside week here on this candle, we almost finished where we started the week. So again, and the 10-year, it looks to me like the 10-year is actually trying to break out here. We've got this downward line. We did have a breakout. We did have a check back, which quite often happens. Retest that level of prior resistance, now becomes support, and now we're just dropping sideways. So something else to keep an eye on here is the 10-year, the Treasury, since the interest rates. We'll see if we start creeping up here. So let's just take a quick look at some stocks I'm watching. I'm looking some stuff in the biotech space. Kind of liking this ABio, and some of these have come from scans. I'm looking in this particular, some of these scans, I'm looking specifically at insider buying, and can be a good indication that maybe some insiders have some insights as to what might be happening in the company. So I'm getting that off a screener that I use in FinViz. And so here's ABio as an example. You can see here we're sort of basing here around $4 and coming up against some moving averages here. You can see MACD is starting to turn up. The slow stochastics are turning up. RSI is turning up. So I'm kind of liking the look of that one. So let's just take a step back. Let's look at what I'm looking at here. You can see here is ABio showed up on FinViz. You can see here, you page down, and we'll see here. Here's Robert Conway, chairman of the board, has been buying shares. Now he hasn't been buying a lot of them, which I like to see a lot of buying, more than just 5,000 shares, 20,000. Yeah, I'd like to see 50s, 100,000, $200,000 in value. But he has been buying these up, so you have to wonder why he's doing that. It's a low float here, so has the potential to really pop up here on some news. So, and how do I find these? Let's go to the screener. You can see here's the screener on FinViz. And I just use this. I just use a drop down here, recent insider buying, and comes up with a list of companies, and I just basically go through them. And you can do some further screening, like you can put in, let's just say you want to see the relative volume over 1.5, which means volume's kind of coming in on this. So you can see here, now you've narrowed it down to literally 14 stocks that you can go through and just look at each one. There's been some buying in Tilly's. Let's take a look at that. You can see here it's looking like an interesting trade. It might it's lost this trend line, but you can see the various analysts upgrades, downgrades, but if you come down here, you can see CFO buying some, not buying a lot. Again, this doesn't get too much of my interest. They're only buying 600 shares, but if and a director's selling 1,000 or 10,000 shares, so People, they say only people buy, they only buy for one reason because they think the price is going up, but they sell for any number of reasons. So I always put a little more weight in buying action as opposed to selling. Again, the volume on the buying has been pretty light, but the CFO has been stepping in and buying a lot of shares here. So, they're not always right. Sometimes they buy, and there's been a lot of buying in energy stocks, and they've continued to go down, like Apache and Oxy. So anyway, that's kind of digressing here as to how I do this screen. But let's jump back to some of the other ones I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at ABio holding 4. Here's another one that had a lot of, I believe, had a lot of insider buying. ACRS, another therapeutics company. They already are breaking out here. They broke out on Friday, looking strong. Not sure. I've kind of lost the entry on this one, except on maybe a pullback. Here's another one. AIM looks like it's had a nice pop. Now it's pulling back, holding these moving averages. MRNN, not really that interested in that one. Terra is another one. Had a nice, has been holding this level here. Had a nice pop on Friday. Lots of volume on it. RSI turning up. Probably on news. So again, it's hard to chase those. TNXP again, just holding this. I believe had some insider buying. It's holding this level, but again, this is a penny stock, so you'd have to be wanting to be in penny stocks. Again, UEPS, technology stock, maybe shouldn't be in the biotechs, but again, had some insider buying, I believe, and we've got some strength in the in some of the indicators that are making it look attractive here. So quickly, here's some other ones I'm looking at from the scans. Again, as I noted earlier, energy looked like finding a bottom here, although oil didn't really look that great on Friday. But you can see here Apache, big engulfing candle, outside day, bouncing off this 9 level-ish. I think it looks like it's going to continue to go higher, really oversold. A lot of these energy names are really oversold. Maybe putting in a double bottom on the stochastics. Let's take a look what else. Boeing had a nice day on Friday. Again, sort of a recovery play, although I just don't see the recovery, but there are signs we are getting recovery, but my biggest concern again is this virus resurgence as we go into the fall flu season. And things starting to have to close down again. So hope that doesn't happen, but it's possible. Gold and silver, keeping an eye on it. I'm still looking for potential for some kind of a breakout here, but nothing's much happening. GIGM just holding this level here might be an interesting entry at 280. Again, gold not doing much right now. Oxy, another one, the same as Apache. Looked like it found a bottom here. If we've got oil coming up, if oil's picking up by the looks of it in the pre-market here, these ones could be in play in the morning for sure, and could be good for a bounce like this here. So watch Apache, Oxy for a bounce. Sava, I like this one for longer term. Did a bit of a pullback here on Friday, but had a beautiful day Thursday. Big volume day on Friday. Very little volume on Friday, and you don't have a lot of selling pressure above here. You can see here's the a volume step there, and not a lot of resistance once we get above that. Silver, same comment as gold. Again, here's the SMH, seems to be looking like it's weakening up a bit. There's rotation. Square, I was looking at Square, always love Square. It just looks like it's ready to, it actually has sort of broken out here. And it looks like it continues to want to push higher. Big volume day on Friday, watch Square. It probably will continue to move higher. And UEPS already mentioned. So here's oil stepping down. That's why I was surprised Apache and Oxy bounced a bit here. So that's a wrap for Sunday night. And all I can say is strange days indeed. We've got lots of Lots of things that are going to make this market volatile for the next month. Um, to say nothing of the election, but some of the virus stuff that's still going on. Trade tensions with China, which seems to be could pop up any day. So yeah, we've got a lot of things that are going to provide for some interesting trading days in the next month or two. So yeah, watch your size and know where your stops are. And yeah, but I still think there's some opportunity. Watch that small cap index to see if it's going to push higher or not. So that's it. Have a great rest of the evening, everybody. As usual, we will be starting pre-market show Monday morning tomorrow, 8:30, and trading the market at 9:30. And hopefully we'll see you there. Bye for now.